Hi, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at a camera, so let's get into it. So this camera right here came with the original box, and it is practically, I want to say 99% complete. It does not come with the memory card, so I already have a few of them, so I didn't have to worry. This is the second Kodak that I have a box to, and the other ones I have manuals and papers to and some cables, but this one is a little bit more special for one reason that I'm going to show you, and another reason why I really like having this. So this is the front, and the box is in relatively good shape. I did clean everything up beforehand because, you know, this is old. Something I do miss with the older boxes and just advertising in general. See right there. I'm going to save the back for last because that's the main reason of this box and kind of the other reason why I bought it. As you can see right there, the back. And we got a Walmart price tag. You are greeted with a thank you message from Kodak to register your camera as well. But I have the original receipt. And it's in really good shape for its age. And when I was looking over it, I was wondering if the buyer was kind of geeky because they pay cash, $215. The camera is a $215. And sometimes if you were buying things, and if it was like a piece of tech or something and you wanted to pay for it, sometimes it would equal the total would be the model number. So I wonder if they were just being geeky and wanted to pay $215 instead of the $210 because, you know, it was almost $211. But other than that, you see sales tax was 6%, and they bought it January 5th, 2001 at 9:11 at night. And when I seen the date, the camera was released in 1999, so it's kind of interesting to see that it was still in the market, or at least in Walmart stock. The cable right here to connect the camera, so this one is a little bit different than my DC 280 and 290. So this goes into the camera, and this goes into the computer. You can get adapters for this, so you can use it on newer computers at least, but this one is a little bit different than what I'm used to. Mainly for this side. And this just looks like it's a male end of the same end here. So what I'm assuming is you would just plug these in together like so, and then you would plug this into your Mac. That's what I'm assuming this is about. So this is definitely going to be the adapter. Sadly, the Macintosh I have a Power Mac G5. It's all USB, so this would be still useless. I believe this is the video cable, just from the transparent case, or plastic here, I mean. I can tell that that's more yellow, and it looks like a video cable. And on the other end, it is the camera's, almost looks like a 3.5mm jack, but it's not. It is this end. So this is definitely a video cable that I could use. Inside, I do want to check this disc out because I have a computer that I could easily run this on anything, but if it will run on those computers. This disc could be useful with some software that's embedded in the software, so like flashing the camera if you needed to reinstall the OS. It might be on here, and you do need to mount the camera, so I can't do it through the memory card. This right here is the manual, and this is the version I really wanted. This is the Millennium 2000 version, and you can see on the top here, it does say Millennium and then 2000, where the silver one does not say that. So this is really cool. And I did go through the manual, and I wanted just to see because on one of the pages, oh, I think that's the page, yeah, right here. So taking pictures. So if you do have this camera or you are looking into getting it, this camera does not have autofocus like the 280 and 290 and all the other ones. It has a half press button, but it does not do anything. So when I was looking at this, I wanted to see if it mentioned autofocus. It doesn't. This camera has a fixed focus and you just zoom with the lens. So you have zooming, but no focusing because it's fixed. So if you're wondering if your camera is broken, it is not. Down here is where it gets more like me. So let me move this box out of the way. This is something I like to do. So I'm assuming the camera came in here, but it came with its little hang tag, as you can see right there. I like that. It's in pretty good shape. It should be. You can see right there. I think this is what the camera came in. You have a safety's instruction manual, register, different languages. It's about registering the camera. And here is the slip to register the camera and software. This is really cool, but sadly it's too large to fit in frame. It is a quick setup, almost like the manual. And you can see it is rather large. But you can see right there, Windows, and then Macintosh is at the end here. So I do like that. I don't have this with my 290 or 280. I just have this with my 280 and 290 and the video or the computer cable for the 290. So that's really cool that I have all this right here. And then right here, I don't know what was in here, but it does say for Windows, and they tore the bottom. I would love to know if it was maybe this cable. I don't know, maybe. So these are the two other DC cameras I have from Kodak. These specifically were because of a reason, if you guys aren't aware of. These were props used, not these exact ones, but these were props used in Mission Impossible 2, my favorite Mission Impossible. This one is slightly newer than the one that was used, or a spec up than the one that was used in Mission Impossible 2. This is the DC-290. The one used in Mission Impossible 2 is the DC-265. Relatively the same, but I do believe that the 265 might have been a 1.6 megapixel. This camera is, despite a small megapixel count, very powerful today. I still am shocked when I take pictures with this. This thing is extremely powerful, and it was a prosumer camera. This one is the DC-280, and it was a little bit harder for me to find because in the movie you only seen the side here and the display. So I was really tracking hard and I couldn't figure out which one it was. It looked like the 3200, but later on figured out which one it was, which led me to wanting the one of the show today, the DC-215 zoom megapixel camera. This is a 1 megapixel camera. And you can see right there the specs, and the lens looks relatively new because this is technically a brand new old stock camera. And I'm going to insert some footage of this camera's shot counter. You can see right here the rubber is still relatively rubbery looking, like new. It's not sticky. These ones are I've seen a few of these that get really sticky. Mine, on the other hand, looks more plastic than the rubber, so I'm very happy with that. You can see right here, this is the rubbery part, so it's very rubbery, and mine does not have that, luckily. This one right here, again, more plastic than the rubber, so maybe the rubber has dissolved. It's more like this kind. This is a metal housing, and it feels closer to like the aluminum that you would see on Apple computers. It reminds me of the Power Mac G5. It is sturdy, very small for its size, I think even. I do have a Now, when you see this, you're going to laugh, but it is formatted. I have an 8 gigabyte card formatted to 204 megabytes. Although I do have a 256 megabyte card, and it gives me on this camera 916 shots, where on here it's close to 760 shots. So with the camera turned on, you have capture, review, connect, and preferences. This camera is relatively simple compared to these ones. These ones have more features. This one just has your zoom, flash mode, macro, and then the display turns on. See right there, it's a little bit dim with the camera. And you have your timer. So everything is still relatively simple and for the most part all you need. So the only function you can do on here, so let me actually turn the screen back on. You have your exposure. So you can see right here. So you can only mess with exposure. So if I were to do that, you can lock exposure. So it should be on the display. There you go. And to turn it off, you would just go back and do that. I do, as you can see, 756 shots. I do have some photos I did take, some test shots, and these ones are relatively going to be dark because I took these 5-ish in the morning because we had snow and I wanted to test it out. So this one is a little bit brighter. Just wait for it to load. See in the middle of the street, and there's some lighting and a lot of snow. It does look really cool. This one's darker, but when you put it on the computer, you do definitely get to see a little bit more. I highly recommend using the flash, even if you think you do not, because these cameras definitely shine when the flash is on. Kodak is known for their vibrant colors, and you definitely do see results when you get the flash and focusing correct. Some of these pictures are a little bit soft, but you are capturing a certain nostalgic look, and if you do take your time to master this camera, you could get better results. On their preferences, you only get to change your quality, your resolution, you have template, timestamp. You can change your file type, but it's best to use JPEG because the other format is relatively harder to use. Quick view, so that would be the display. Your time and date, which this, for whatever reason, this camera and I believe the 290 have a calendar date to 2037, where all my other ones stop at 2025. Oops. This is for the screen brightness. You have your format, your memory card, your video out if you were PAL or United States, NTSC language, and then the about. As you can see right there, it is relatively new with that amount of images captured and flashes fired. This thing is really cool, and I do understand the limitations with it being a megapixel. It's better to go closer to get better detail with 1 megapixel. So there is one flaw with this camera that is well documented, and I wanted to let you guys know in case you are interested in this camera, and that is with the battery tray. It is well documented that this thing does break easily. It's not constructed of high ABS plastic of any sort. It's very cheaply made. A lot of times I see on eBay this piece right here is broken off. The clips right here that actually clip into the camera. A little bit over here. So when you do find one of these and you want one, just make sure this is actually flush with the actual case, or else you're going to have to do the rubber band trick and have that wrapped around the camera. The orientation I like to go is putting this one in, and then I believe I put this one in first, so going down and then snap in. And I think I did the same thing here. So just be very careful when inserting the batteries, because you don't want this to break, because then the camera is useless. And that right there is my new camera, technically. And I'm very happy with it. So with that, leave your comments down below. Let's have a discussion. and I'll see you in the next one.